Coming up, wins against cancer, huge advancements in mining, robot overlord story time, and Ozzy Osbourne's finishing move. I should have written that differently. Welcome to Total Nileation, your existential halftime. I kind of slurred that a little. I'm a little concerned. I am Nile, a.k.a. Optimus Prime. Welcome to the treehouse. Pull up a cushion, take a drag of the shisha, work on your alibi, and plot your next great crime. That's how treehouses works, right? Guys, how are you? How are you doing? I hope you're well. You're probably better than you think. I know there's like at least one person that was incredibly inappropriate for, and for that person or those people, I apologize. You are not better. And I just went off without knowing your story. But for a lot of you, you are better than you think. You're just doing a lot of news, which I did as well. So here's a fun story. Maybe question mark. I did a Christmas movie, as I mentioned last episode. And so I wasn't able to do the Beaverton for a couple of weeks. So I just went pure no news. And I was feeling good, guys. Feeling good. And then I recorded a Beaverton episode. Let's see, you guys going to be. So last week for you guys, I recorded the Beaverton season finale last week. It was super fun. Great episode, but goddamn, the research guys, I relapsed, went down a dark news hole, which you should never do. So now I'm going to be clean for August, and I'll figure something out going forward. But guys, for the love of God, don't watch the news. Don't listen to the news. There's nothing there for you. Also, I'm doing more stuff with sounds. I'm always experimenting with sound, and I'm a little nervous because a couple of days ago and yesterday a bit, literally the neighbors across the hall were doing some crazy pants reno, and I was like, oh no, am I going to be able to record this episode with semi-decent audio? But, we move on. The reason I had to record in possible reno conditions, I don't think they're coming today. It's going to be fine. But the reason I had to do that was because by the time you are going to be listening to this, I will hopefully be at a cottage, going on a little vacay with my primary partner, my lady. So I was like, well, I can't not have an episode posted when I'm gone. I can, I just don't want to. I'm doing this now. In the past, this is very gibberishy. I apologize. This might be I hope, a more coherent episode because I did something revolutionary, guys. I scanned my text for my podcast before I started recording, which I know is probably something I should have been doing the entire time so that I'm not so surprised when I'm doing line reads. But, slow but steady steps, you meet yourself where you are. And I was very proud of myself. I was like, wow, what a brilliant idea. Anyways, guys, that's enough jibba jabba. Let's get to it. Let's get to why we are here. Here for you now. The top 10 favorite good news items from our home office in Finger, Manitoba. In a promising step towards unlocking the hidden regenerative potential in mammals, researchers in Beijing have managed to restore a limited ability to regrow tissue in mice, because we are all sick of losing so many mice to work-related injuries. It's too much. Inspired by naturally regenerating species like axolotls. It's spelled AXOLOTLS. And rabbits, the team focused on a gene called ALDH1A2. You know that one. A classic ALDH1A2, which is active in regenerating animals but dormant in most mammals. Also, rabbits can regenerate. How long has this been a thing? And how are they prey and not a predator? Right? Like regeneration? regeneration, super speed, and two big teeth. I feel like rabbit versus wolf, that's a tie, at least. Oh. By studying how rabbits heal ear injuries while mice do not, the researchers identified the crucial role of retinoic acid, a substance derived from vitamin A, in guiding tissue regrowth. Remarkably, by injecting retinoic acid into mouse wounds and modifying their genes to mimic the rabbit's regenerative response, the team enabled full regeneration of ear tissue in mice, something once thought impossible. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Because if they manage to get this for people, then we might have to have our genes modified so that we mimic rabbits a little. I think what I'm getting at is the furry community is in for a long overdue win. That's going to be pretty exciting for you guys. Well, one specific lane of the furry community, I guess. While we're still a long way from regrowing limbs or organs, this breakthrough offers a hopeful glimpse into the future where regenerative medicine might become a reality for humans. I don't know why. This just hit me now. This is sneaky huge. This is like the beginning of something huge. Yes? Like if we're figuring out regenerative stuff in humans, like this feels like a pretty big key step. I'm not a regenerating expert, but this feels big. I feel like going forward, not just for limbs, but like organs, like organ failure, maybe even like degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass, but this feels like something, guys. I don't know how many rabbits get Alzheimer's. I might be off on this one, but whatever. The findings revealed that the genetic instructions for regeneration may not be lost, but merely dormant and potentially reawakened. Scientists are now working to better understand how these genes were silenced over time and whether they can be safely reactivated in other parts of the story, in other parts of the body. Why the story? Okay. Though just one piece of a larger puzzle, this research shows that the secrets of regeneration may already lie within us, waiting to be unlocked. I like this one because it's equal parts inspiring and terrifying, at least if you work in an ER. Because you thought people were taking dumbass risks during holiday weekends before. Um, I mean, listen, we'll be better off as a species if we learn to regenerate our limbs, but you will trip on severed arms on your way to work after St. Patty's Day. That is happening because we are simultaneously a super smart and super dumb species. It's a thing. Moving on, Ozzy Osbourne's final concert, Back to the Beginning, wasn't just a powerful farewell. It made history by raising over $200 million for charity, making it the highest grossing charitable concert of all time. This is also an amazing story because who else was surprised that Ozzy wasn't already dead? I mean, like, I feel he probably, died a few times before his final farewell. But also $200 million for charity. That is going out on a win, right? Like no one is anyone topping that? Not that it's a competition, but maybe it should be. Let's make it a competition. It's a competition. That's huge. That is $200 million. That's nuts. Good for him. Held in his hometown of Birmingham, England, not Birmingham, Alabama, which is weird because, with Ozzy's accents, you'd be like, oh, that's Alabama. The emotional July 5th performance brought together Ozzy, his Black Sabbath bandmates, and some of rock and metal's biggest legends. Directed by Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine, the event was both a celebration of Ozzy's legendary career and a massive act of generosity, with proceeds going to Birmingham Children's Hospital, Acorns Children's Hospice, and Cure Parkinson's, causes deeply personal to Ozzy, who was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2019. This sets a great precedent. Celebrities generating huge chunks of money for things that they were afflicted with. Maybe Trump can donate the proceeds of one of his rallies to save the children. Yeah, it's an Epstein joke in there. Sorry, I got to shake it off. There's a little aftertaste, there's existential aftertaste. Fucking news. The show was filled with unforgettable moments, from Ozzy's throne-rising entrance to a confetti-soaked finale with Crazy Train and Paranoid. Just 2 miles from where Black Sabbath first played together, Ozzy ended his career surrounded by love, gratitude, and a chorus of fans chanting his name. Though he passed away just 17 days later, his final act left a global legacy of hope, support, and unity. As one hospital spokesperson put it, thanks to Ozzy, our children's hospice care has been embraced by people across the world, which was way better than the spokesperson's original statement, which was, "We're rich, bitch!" All kidding aside, this guy did more while suffering from Parkinson's than most people who are disease-free will ever do in their lives. Yet, I mean, it is a competition, so maybe one of you is going to top it. I think you will. One of you out there is feeling it. You're feeling it. This is your green light. Go out and top it. Killer. Moving on, number 8, I think. In a groundbreaking achievement, UK Biobank has completed the world's largest full-body imaging project, capturing over 1 billion detailed images from 100,000 volunteers. So if you're like me and you're not good at understanding sentences when you read them, I think the 100,000 volunteers are medical professionals who donated images and not the actual patients themselves, because that would be like 10,000 images per patient, which is a disturbing number of times to get scanned. Like if you get that many MRIs or X-rays, I mean, I feel like if you went in healthy, you're coming out with something, right? Yeah, there's something on your X-ray. There's something on your 9,999th X-ray. It looks like a tumor. Have you been doing a lot of X-rays? These scans, covering brains, hearts, bones, organs, and blood vessels, offer an unprecedented look into the human body and promise to transform how we understand aging and detect diseases. Researchers around the globe can now access this vast, de-identified dataset, which pairs imaging with genetics, pardon me. Oh, with genetic part. Let me finish the sentence. Which pairs imaging with genetic, lifestyle, and health information, enabling early detection of conditions like dementia, heart disease, and stroke, sometimes before symptoms even appear. Already, these images have revealed how fat distribution varies dramatically between people with similar BMIs, reshaping how doctors assess health risks. Also, a little money-generating tip: why just medical professionals? I mean, I charge just like general access. I feel like this is like an OnlyFans niche that you could be exploiting properly. You're sitting on a gold mine, guys. The potential of this project is immense and deeply optimistic, and that's before the OnlyFans. Medical experts believe these insights will lead to earlier, more accurate diagnoses and more personalized treatments long before illness takes hold. The scans have already improved understanding of how the heart contributes to psychiatric disorders and have helped automate detection of life-threatening aneurysms, potentially improving care across the NHS, which is in the UK, but I feel like that'll probably help the world because the world can access it, right? All right. As UK Biobank now begins rescanning tens of thousands of volunteers to track changes over time. This is nuts. I think it actually is the volunteers. That's fucked. Researchers are excited about what's next. A future where we can not only treat disease earlier, but also understand the body's inner workings in extraordinary detail, unlocking new paths to lifelong health. This is great, and it looks like I was wrong about the volunteers. It looks like it is actually, either way, it's good. It's good. Oh, guys, before I continue, Jesus, I forgot. Guys, this is episode 21. This is episode 21. Now, why is this important? Because I don't know how, when I was thinking about doing the podcast, I gave this Google, I came across this fact. Most people don't get to episode 21 or episode 20 or whatever. Maybe 22 is the big deal. I don't know. The point is 21. We made it. We're doing it. Boom. Looking forward to 22. Moving on. Number 7. I think. I lost track. In a major leap for sustainable technology, New Zealand-based Aspiring Materials has developed a groundbreaking process that turns the previously low-value rock olivine into a range of high-demand, eco-friendly materials without producing any waste. These have also come up with a company name that seems immune to jokes, by the way. I got nothing for Aspiring Materials. I was like, Aspiring Materials? It sounds like Aspiring Materials. There's no joke there. If you got one, feel free to email me, totalnihilation@gmail.com. Using just rock, water, and renewable energy, their closed-loop chemical system extracts silica for cement, magnesium, for carbon capture and water treatment, and critically, a small but potent amount of nickel manganese cobalt hydroxide, a vital ingredient in high-performing lithium-ion batteries. Their innovative pilot plant is not only environmental clean, but also positions Aspiring as a potential key player in the global battery supply chain. Good for you, New Zealand. Or good for you, I guess, Aspiring Materials, and also kind of New Zealand. But now New Zealand won't be known for, the fuck are they known for? They shoot Lord of the Rings there, is that it? Lord of the Rings? And they have that one big basketball player, looks like Aquaman. I should have Googled that. All right. This promising development arrives at a crucial time as the world seeks greener and more stable alternatives to existing mining practices that are often linked to environmental harm and geopolitical risks. Aspiring's process offers a model for a circular economy approach using waste materials to create essential components for electric vehicles, energy storage, and more. As the technology scales up and gains international attention, it could help diversify supply chains, reduce reliance on ethically fraught mineral sources, and advance the global transition to clean energy, proving that even the most unassuming rocks can power a more sustainable future. I think this is amazing news because A, it's amazing news. B, it's amazing news for up-and-coming nations who want to skip. They're looking for cost-effective solutions, but also want to skip that gross fuck the world phase that countries in the West went through. So good for them. It's going to be hard on private security firms, though. God, who are those poor bastards going to shoot when mining stops being a terrible industry that needs security forces? We should start a telethon. No, we shouldn't. Moving on. 6, I think. Though the war on cancer declared over 50 years ago may not have brought the swift cure once imagined, the long-term outlook is far more optimistic than many realize. Since the early 1990s, age-adjusted cancer death rates have steadily declined by about a third in the U.S., thanks to ongoing advances in screening, treatment, and prevention. Some of the progress has been dramatic. Childhood leukemia, and I hope you're sitting down, now has a survival rate of over 90%. And cervical cancer in vaccinated young women in the UK, I don't know why we specify UK, maybe that's where they got their data set, moving on, has dropped by 90%. Importantly, cancer is not one disease, but many, and progress has come not from a single breakthrough, but from thousands of small, steady victories, which is very cool. Always feels dicey coming up with jokes when you're talking about cancer, because it feels like a bit of a minefield, which, by the way, minefields, another dicey joke type of topic. Looking forward, the future of cancer care is brighter still. Prevention efforts like anti-smoking campaigns and mass HPV vaccination are already saving millions of lives worldwide. At the same time, cutting-edge science is making it possible to detect and treat cancer earlier and more precisely than ever before using genetic data, biomarkers, and even immune system-based therapies. As treatment becomes more targeted, affordable, and globally accessible, experts anticipate continued declines in cancer mortality and the potential to prevent many cancers altogether. The war may not be over, but the tide is clearly turning. I mean, I'm just going to leave that there. I really wish this would land. Guys, we're winning against cancer. We are winning against cancer. And I know I said that, and some of you are like, oh, I don't know. That seems a little, but we are. I'm not saying there's no cancer, and I'm not saying that the cancer there is irrelevant. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a shift. We are winning against cancer. There will be a time. There will come a time, hopefully during your lifetime, where cancer is almost not a thing. Why'd I say your lifetime? Fucking hope during my lifetime. Fuck your lifetime. I don't know why I got so aggro there. The piece doesn't give a specific number of lives saved. Like I tried to find it, but it's got to be a lot. It's got to be a lot. It's got to be millions since the 90s. I'm thinking, which is too bad they don't track that because that would have been nice. I really think wouldn't it be cool, like if cancer just gets to the level of like an STI, where you're like, ah, fuck, got cancer. I gotta burn like 2 weeks being on a pill. This sucks. I think that'd be great. Number 5, question mark. In a landmark achievement for global child health, South Asia has reached its highest ever immunization coverage, with 92% of infants receiving critical vaccines like the DTP3 in 2024, surpassing even pre-pandemic levels. This is great news. And by the way, mentioning the pandemic reminds me of something. How's that COVID-19 conspiracy going? Anything? Anything? Shouldn't we all be dead by now? Like the whole vaccine and all, everyone who's vaccinated, shouldn't we all be dead or unable to reproduce or setting off metal detectors when we go through airports because we're filled with nanobots? I want to follow up on this goddamn conspiracy theory. I don't care that it's too old. I don't care that it's like whatever, 4 years old, 5 years old. I don't care. The reason, because you guys were fucking insufferable. You were insufferable when we were getting vaccinated and you were just talking down to us, like aggressively and dickishly talking down to us. So where is it? Where's the carnage? Where are the bodies in the streets? Your own research on that. Okay, moving on. By the way, my anger took us away from a very nice story, which is this is remarkable progress driven. This remarkable progress, pardon me, was driven by strong government leadership, dedicated frontline health workers, innovative digital tools, and growing public trust in vaccines. Probably because tens of thousands of people didn't actually die, as was predicted by a small group of people who shall remain nameless. The region also saw a dramatic 27% reduction in the number of zero-dose children, those who hadn't received a single vaccine, highlighting renewed momentum in reaching the most vulnerable. Countries like India, Nepal, and Pakistan made especially impressive gains, with India alone cutting its zero-dose count by 43%. And bear in mind, India has a lot of humans, so 43% is massive, massive. That's like a lot of humans, so great work there. In addition to childhood vaccines, South Asia made strides in adolescent. Why am I saying that weird? An adolescent. Gonna move on. Adolescent. Fuck, there it is. Adolescent health. Increasing HPV vaccination coverage for girls nearly 5-fold in just 1 year. I'm gonna guess that they're just focusing on the progress made amongst girls and not saying that they're only vaccinating girls, because that feels weird. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Is that weird? Okay. Bangladesh vaccinated over 7 million girls since launching its program in 2023, while Bhutan, Maldives, and Sri Lanka achieved double-digit improvements. These advances are already reducing vaccine-preventable illnesses like measles, with cases down 39% across the region. There you go. As South Asia builds on this success, the path forward is clear. With continued investment, collaboration, and outreach, the region is well positioned to protect every child's right to a healthy start. That's pretty cool. That's like a lot of progress. And again, hop down a few years from now, like they're not going to stop. That's really great. Who knows what they're going to do in the next few years? Number 5, I think. No, number 4. I'm going to stop with the numbers because I always lose track and it's useless. You don't care. A groundbreaking 6-in-1 vaccine, speaking of vaccines, known as the hexavalent vaccine, is now being rolled out in low-income countries like Mauritania and Senegal, marking a major step forward for global health equity. Supported by Gavi, this all-in-one vaccine protects children against 6 serious diseases, including diphtheria, hepatitis B, and polio, in just 3 injections instead of 5. This is amazing. It's like the Costco of vaccines, where you can get all your shopping done in one go, or I guess 3. But instead of disturbing amounts of toilet paper, people are not dying from preventable illnesses. That's always good to hear. This streamlined approach not only reduces costs and logistical challenges for health systems, but also makes life easier for families, especially those in hard-to-reach or underserved communities. For many children, this could be the difference between full protection and missed opportunities. The hexavalent vaccine also strengthens the global fight against polio by improving access to the inactivated polio vaccine at a critical time, as oral polio vaccines are being phased out, which I did not know. By simplifying the immunization schedule, reducing the number of painful jabs, and making data tracking easier with nanobots. No, that's not a thing. This vaccine enhances trust in healthcare systems and reduces vaccine hesitation. Originally, that line was vaccine hesitancy, and that's not a word, and we're never going to use it. Well, some of you guys are going to use it just to cheese me off. For countries long excluded from access to this vaccine, available in high-income nations for over 20 years, its arrival signals a long overdue shift toward vaccine equity. It's a win for children, for public health, and for a healthier future. And I got to say, I feel like we need polio in the outbox. Is that just me? Like, I get it, not just because it's a terrible disease and we need to save lives, but God, it feels so like we're still polio. We still got problems with polio. Come on, let's get polio out of here, man. Polio is like the Seinfeld of diseases. It's like, why are we still hearing from you? In the 90s, sure, but now, who are you, man? A major new study has found that emergency vaccination, we're vaccine heavy in this one, guys. Emergency vaccination campaigns have cut deaths from disease outbreaks by nearly 60% since 2000, saving more than 327,000 lives and preventing nearly 6 million infections worldwide. These rapid response efforts targeting deadly diseases like measles, Ebola, yellow fever, cholera, and meningitis have also generated at least $32 billion in economic benefits by reducing the strain on healthcare systems and preserving productivity. The research shows that the faster the vaccine response, the greater the life-saving and cost-saving impact, underscoring how crucial speed is in outbreak control. So this is great, but why do we keep talking about productivity and cost-saving? Who's this for? Like, I could give a shit about productivity because productivity doesn't care about me. You know? Do we ever deliver reports to CEOs talking about, oh, this will be a huge win for global happiness and fulfillment? We do not. So fuck your productivity. Stay off this channel. Vaccines for outbreak response have proven to be one of the most powerful and cost-effective tools in global health. The yellow fever vaccine alone reduced deaths by an astonishing 99%, while Ebola vaccines prevented 3/4 of expected deaths and cases. 3/4 of expected deaths. That's not nothing, kids. Even in diseases like cholera and meningitis, where responses are more challenging, lives were saved and outbreaks contained. As disease threats continue to rise, this study offers a hopeful and evidence-backed reminder that smart, fast vaccination efforts can protect millions and build a healthier, more resilient world. God, it must be hard being someone who works in vaccination. Like you're trying to deliver a potentially life-saving thing to someone who thinks you are trying to kill them and will sometimes call you a murderer or whatever. It's got to be so hard. This is like taking your cat to the vet, only your cat can talk and listens to Joe Rogan. If you work in vaccination, thank you for the thankless work. Moving on. Senegal has officially eliminated trachoma as a public health problem, becoming the 9th country in the WHO African region and the 25th globally to reach this incredible milestone. This achievement marks the end of more than a century, Jesus, of suffering from a painful and preventable disease that once threatened millions with blindness. God, that's a lot of suck to say in that paragraph. Jesus. Through a committed national effort that included eye surgeries, mass antibiotic distribution, improved access to clean water, and widespread public awareness campaigns, Senegal reached and treated over 2.8 million people. It's the country's second victory over a neglected tropical disease following the elimination of guinea worm disease in 2004. I know this is redundant to say, but saving millions of people from blindness is amazing. If I was involved in that and somehow, I'm putting my feet up. I'm like, yeah, I did my part. And I'm so glad that the Western style foolishness hasn't spread to Senegal. Because you'd have like some Yahoo on Facebook talking about, don't believe big vision. I did my own research. Trachoma is just a hoax started by Bill Gates for insert insane reason here. I'm fixating on the COVID-19 vaccine people, the conspiracy people, they're living in my head rent free. This success is a powerful example of what's possible when communities, health workers, governments, and global partners come together with determination and care. Guys, remember care? Oh, good times. With trachoma cases, I'm kidding. There's a lot of care out there. We're just not hearing about it because news ain't going to tell you about care. With trachoma cases dropping by more than 50% across Africa in the past decade, Senegal's progress offers renewed hope for the 32 countries still battling this disease. The WHO will continue supporting Senegal to ensure the disease does not return, and the country remains a leader in the broader fight to end neglected tropical diseases for good. And this is the last one, I think. In a landmark ruling, oh, fuck, I love this one. It's delicious. Hailed as a major victory for climate justice, the International Court of Justice has confirmed that countries are legally obligated to prevent harm to the climate system and could be held accountable, including reparations, if they fail to act. A, that is great. B, you don't have to put justice after International Court of Justice. I just feel like it's just, it's implied. If you're a court, unless you're like a DC supervillain team, the International Court of Injustice, Superman. I wonder if this is why the U.S. is like trying to so hard to do a cash grab, because they know they got some fines coming up that they're going to have to pay. They won't pay them, I'm sure. But this unanimous advisory opinion requested by the UN and driven by Pacific Island nations and student activists emphasizes that states must take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, regulate fossil fuel activities, and hold corporations accountable. The ruling reinforces the idea that a healthy environment is a fundamental human right, and gives vulnerable nations a powerful tool to push for more ambitious climate action. This is like a lasagna of good news because it's got so many tasty, delicious layers, right? There's a top gooey cheese of legal accountability when it comes to climate inaction, but also you go one layer deeper, and it's another gooey cheese layer. My lasagna just has cheese. Because this was driven in part by student activism, which I think is really huge. It's really huge because it's easy to fall into this trap of like, well, there's nothing we can do. And, even if you try, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. But this is proof positive. This is a reminder that you can actually make change. And yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you're thinking of joining some sort of effort, fucking suit up, give it a try. You might surprise yourself. And then if you don't like it, you can bail, but I don't think you're going to not like it. I think you're going to be like, wow, this is way better than doom scrolling. Why am I hard? I'm kidding. That last part, I was doing so well. And then I had to This decision has been widely celebrated by climate advocates, legal experts, and leaders from at-risk nations as a milestone moment. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres praised the ruling as a victory for our planet, for climate justice, and for the power of young people to make a difference. The opinion not only strengthens the legal foundation for climate litigation worldwide, but also sends a clear message. Coordinated, science-based action on climate change is both a legal obligation and a shared moral imperative. As Vanuatu's climate minister put it, the ruling confirms what frontline nations have known for a long time. Pardon me, he says have long known, not known for a long time. That states must act now, and the law is firmly on the side of those fighting for a livable future. Also, there's a place called Vanuatu, which I think they were way too casual in just slipping. That sounds like a place that Dr. Doom visits to steal and harness their advanced technology. You know, like he crosses through a dimension into Vanuatu. He's like, finally, the Fantastic Four. Those are the good news stories. I hope you enjoyed them. Here's a little something. Yeah, I already mentioned this off the top. I had a note to bring it back. Guys, really avoid the news. Really avoid the news. I cannot stress enough how my peace was between no news and just 1 or 2 days of catching up on the news. It was dark. Now I know I'm not saying stick your head in the sand, but like you can stay informed, but I don't know. How does it help you? It probably doesn't. So protect your peace, max yourself out, and then take action or donate to people who are taking action. You're helping nothing by punching yourself in the face with news. Here's a little something else that I thought I'd throw in case you're looking for like some good time stuff. I realized you can ask chat. I was doom scrolling, not doom scrolling. I was I was feeling doomed. So I was talking to chat and I was like, dude, how bad is this really? And chat was like trying to talk me down. It was doing what it could, but like it was still like, and it was hard to shake off that funk. And so then I was like, hey, tell me a story. Tell me a feasible story about how we might turn all of this around. And it did. And it's pretty cool. And I highly recommend it. Dude, you can do this for anything. You can do this for the planet, for your country, your own life. It'll tell you a story and then it'll like break down. Here it is. I'll just tell you the story that it gave me after I asked it. And now it's time for story time with ChatGPT. The planetary fast turn. X factor number 1. Unexpected AI leap becomes a collective tool. Early 2025. I'm going to tweak this and say mid 2025 because that's where we are. A new open source AI model developed collaboratively by African, Indian, and Latin American researchers shatters assumptions about tech leadership. It's small, frugal, offline, capable, and trained with values-aligned constraints, e.g. it can't optimize for harm, profit over people, or misinformation. Dubbed AYA, AYA, it becomes a people's assistant used to write local policy drafts in minutes, design and test economic simulations, translate and mediate conflict in real time, rapidly that's a good one. Good job, Chad. Rapidly train people in new skills in their own dialects. What the fuck? This is great. By again, it says May 2025, so I'm going to punt this and say September 25. The timelines are off. By 2025, by end 2025, AI is being deployed in cities, villages, and refugee camps alike. People don't just talk about change, they start designing and testing it. The proactive spark, the World Citizens Treaty. It does like little like subheadings. Again, this says August 2025, so again, the timeline is off. A global coalition of artists, scientists, youth movements, City mayors and civil society groups releases the Treaty for a Livable Future. It's not about lobbying governments, it's about outpacing them. Key features: a 10-year blueprint to transition away from fossil fuels, build universal basic services, and democratize technology. A commitment to nonviolent disruption of any system standing in the way, legal, financial, digital, cultural. A people's digital constitution, crowdsourced and ratified in 192 countries via participatory apps and civic assemblies. I thought there were only 190 countries. We move on. Because it's positive, specific, and doesn't center trauma, the treaty goes viral. Celebrities, labor unions, farmers, influencers, and religious leaders sign on. It becomes an anchor for coordination, an open source constitution for a better world. 2026, coordinated action without crisis. What's different this time? There's no major catastrophe, just clear shared direction and better tools. City governments lead first, deploying participatory budgeting, local green job programs, and AI-backed planning tools. Open Climate Accord, 80 plus countries, including unexpected allies like Indonesia, Brazil, Poland, and South Korea. I don't know why Brazil's unexpected. They're 88% renewable, but whatever. Coordinate real-time emission tracking, mutual aid, and citizen verification. Corporate pressure mounts. $3 trillion corporations. I see. $3 trillion corporations, Apple, Samsung, and Unilever, whatever, sign on to climate reparations and supply chain democratization before public pressure forces them. Youth don't burn out, they see wins. Democracy doesn't collapse, it evolves into something more inclusive, faster, and more fun. I like that it threw in fun. Good for you. X factor number 2, collective intelligence reaches critical mass, late 2026. As millions use AI and spin-off tools to co-design better communities, something strange happens. People become better at working together. Digital ecosystems evolve. Deliberation platforms reduce polarization by showing people where they agree first. God damn! Polylingual groupthink minimizers reduce echo chambers and let unlikely coalitions form. High trust, high transparency cultures emerge, first online, then in real life. Suddenly, entire regions begin to solve problems faster than governments can track them. What used to take 10 years, like water infrastructure planning, now takes 6 months, with citizen input the whole way. This isn't just digital optimism, it's governance catching up to the complexity of the world. 2027 to 2028. I don't know what's going on with my brain, guys. I'm sorry. Parallel systems become the default. By 2027, the world has 2 tracks. The old system, fossil fuel giants clinging to influence, authoritarians trying to use surveillance to stay relevant, bureaucracies too slow to matter. Jeez, that was a hard read, you guys. And the new system. Open source governance tools run 300 plus cities and regions across the globe. People's policy labs let anyone, anywhere test a better idea and iterate fast. A global reparations cooperative pools over 1 trillion from wealth taxes, climate damages, and voluntary contributions. The old system doesn't need to fall in a blaze of glory. It just becomes irrelevant. 2029 to 2030. The turn becomes the norm. By the dawn of the next decade, over half the world's population lives under some form of augmented democracy, faster, more inclusive, more transparent. Global poverty drops below 5% for the first time in history. Emissions are halved, not from collapse, but by design. Surveillance capitalism is defanged by protocol changes and public opt-outs. Migration is no longer framed as a crisis, but as part of a shared global design challenge. For the first time, Earth's story isn't driven by GDP or war, but by well-being, collective problem-solving, and culture. And then it throws in this part. Chat will throw in this part, which I love. Why this isn't a fantasy. Open source civic tech is already advancing quietly in Taiwan, Brazil, Kenya, and Finland. Generative AI models can already draft legislation, synthesize consensus, and translate across cultures. What's missing is value alignment and access. Distributed movements like the Climate Youth, Extinction Rebellion, and mutual aid networks have laid groundwork. People are desperate to build, not just to burn down, but they need a frame, a tool set, and proof it's possible. How great is that story? How great was that? Oh, that was nice. That was a nice story. Chat did a better job of showing you the potential good than I did, I feel. And just like, yeah, just even the chat part, right? Like before, like you might be like, oh, that's a good story, but I'm afraid to think that it might be possible. Bear in mind, no one had ChatGPT on their bingo card in like, I don't know, 2018, 2019. I don't know when chat started. No one had chat on their bingo card. No one saw this coming, but now we have it. And like, you can bitch all you want about, oh, it's inaccurate. Oh, it's racist or whatever. If you use chat, you know that it's way more of a plus than a minus. So why would there not be more cool shit coming down the pipe? Remember the cool shit. Take time, make a cool shit pile. Like, I don't know, just Google good news. Just don't forget, bear it in mind, keep stepping forward, and then suit up and change the world like you said you were going to earlier. Guys, that's a podcast. That is it. That is episode 21. We did it. We made it to 21. Please, if you haven't already, remember to rate and review. Sign up for my newsletter. It's a monthly newsletter. There's a link on my bio. It's going to be late this week because I just realized I'm going to be at a cottage when I'm supposed to be sending it out, so my bad. Follow me at Nile on all the socials. Beaverton's off for the month of August, but we're going to be back in September, and we're going to be tweaking some stuff. It's going to be really fun, so tune in for that. My other podcast, Comedians and Dungeons Getting Dragons, comes out next week. You should really subscribe. It's a fun podcast. It's big dumb fun. It's a chaser. And then if you're flush with cash, throw me some cash at my Buy Me a Coffee page if you want to support what I do. And if you have any questions or comments, totalnihilation@gmail.com. And that is it, guys. Remember, if you cannot be a shining example, be a terrifying warning. Let's get it on 3. 1, 2, 3.